Hi, I'm Eric with Tortoise Gear, and today I wanted to demonstrate our product, the Firefly. The Firefly is a ferrocerium rod accessory for the Swiss Army knife. It's designed to be a plug-and-play replacement for the toothpick. Today I wanted to take this snowy opportunity to show you how this little ferrocerium rod can save your life in any weather conditions. Okay, you get the point. These leaves are not going to burn. So when you're out in the woods looking for tinder, it may take you a while to find what you're looking for. The primary thing I'm looking for is pitch. And you can find pitch on most conifers. This here is a pine. You can see a nice deposit of pitch here on the bottom. You can find it on fir and many others. So this is a jackpot right here. This can get the fire going even with the wet stuff we've got. So I'm gonna take my knife and pop this piece of bark off that's covered in pitch, and I'm gonna use it to start my fire. Alright, here's another nice glob of pitch. A couple of them there, something there, and another nice glob down there. I'm going to go ahead and collect all this. The more pitch you can get, the longer it'll burn to start your wet wood. More pitch. We'll go ahead and grab that too. Okay, well, I was out collecting pitch. I found a jackpot. This may not look like much, but what this is, it's an old burnt out pine tree, and all that's left is the pitch wood. So I'm going to take a piece of this and take it back to my fire, and this is going to be my tinder to light my fire. So just show you what I'm talking about. That is some beautiful pitch wood, also known as fat wood. That makes perfect tinder for starting fires in conditions like this. And I'm going to break a piece off and bring it back with me. There's some other ways to find some good fat wood tinder for starting your fire. This is a down pine, and it's pretty good size. The bigger the pine, the more fat wood it's going to have. And you can see the core. The log is pretty much rotted, but the core is in place. And if we scrape the snow off of here, we can see that is prime tinder right there. It doesn't matter if this is even underwater. This wood is saturated with pitch, and it's always going to be good tinder no matter what the conditions outside. And I'm just going to carve this up real quick and demonstrate what I mean by that. Okay, so this is still dry because it's basically waterproofed in pitch, and even though everything else around it is soaking wet, this will still light. And I'm kind of standing over it to keep the snow off of it. So I'm going to pull out my Firefly fire steel and get my knife blade out and just kind of demonstrate just a quick fire here before we light the campfire. just to show you how well this works if you get the right tinder. Okay, so snowy, rainy, completely saturated around, but this still burns. This is how we're going to light our fire to get us warmed up, because my hands are cold. If you're in a place with a lot of snow on the ground, a good way to get fat wood is to find a stump like this where the tree is broken off or rotted off and all that's left is the solid core. This is really hard and it's pure, almost pure sapwood. I carved it out a little bit just to check, and sure enough it is sapwood, and this is good for starting your fire. Even if there was really deep snow, this would be sticking up and you'd be able to find it and get your tinder. Another place you can find sapwood is in a large pine branch like this one. And I'll just cut it off real quick to show you. Cut it off close to the tree trunk. That's where most of the sapwood is. And in there we have some nice sapwood, pitchy enough to start a fire. Yet another way to find pitchy fat wood perfect for lighting tinders is an old stump like this. A lot of times when they cut down a conifer like a pine tree or a fir, it continues to produce sap, and it puts the sap out into the stump and saturates the wood. You can see here, I carved a little bit away, and this is completely sapwood. This whole stump, total sapwood. So I could break pieces off of this and use it as tinder. Just another quick demonstration with this pitchy stump that I found to show you how it can light. So I just scraped up some shavings, and I'm going to pull out my Firefly. And we'll go ahead and light this up. So that works. As a matter of fact, pines can be so pitchy that you can find something like this, and particularly if they have pitch coming out of them already, even though it's green, it has a high enough pitch content down towards the base that if I were to cut this down and make shavings, I could actually use it to start a fire, which is pretty amazing. The most important aspect of starting fires in conditions like this is preparation. It's going to take you a lot longer to properly prepare your fire pit and your tinder than it is to start your fire. So make sure you do it right. You don't want to waste energy trying to start a fire only to have it go out because you didn't prepare your tinder properly or your fire pit. So I've got some semi-dry sticks. Nothing is dry out here. Even the stuff under this thick fir tree that I'm under, and I don't know if you can see it on the camera here, but it is still raining and sleeting on my fire tinder right here. So I've got my pitch, my fire pit prepared. I'm not worried about catching anything on fire right now, so I didn't clear around it, but if you're going to start a fire when it's dry, you need to clear around it. And I have some sticks to start burning. And there's my tinder fat wood that I collected off the forest floor. So we're ready to get started. Alright, I'm going to take some of this pitch that I found and just put it right down here underneath this tinder. And I'm going to get my knife out. And I also found this has a lot of snow on it, but there's pitch. I broke it off the tree, and there's actually pitch on the inside too, which is drier. It's got less moisture than the outside. So I'm going to use this as a base to start my fire, and hopefully this will light up after I have it started. I'll go ahead and take my pitch wood here, clean it off a bit. Hopefully you guys can see that. And nothing about starting a fire in these conditions is clean. So I'm going to take my knife and just going to shave pieces of this fat wood off. Helps to have a good sharp knife, which is perfect because Firefly comes right out of a good sharp knife. This should be plenty. So now what I'm going to do is I can either take the blade of my knife or the sharp back of the saw and start scraping off some small tinder from this wood here. Should be plenty. And now I'm going to take this and turn it upside down here. I could light it right on this stick, but I think this time I'll just use this. Get this pitch burning. And we'll take this tinder here and place it on here. These fat wood shavings are also called Maya dust online. So that's basically what it is. It's fat wood. Alright, I'm going to take my Firefly out. Go ahead and put my knife blade away. Use the back of my saw. And I'm just going to hold the Firefly. Good grip. We'll go ahead and light our fire. Good. Looks like the pitch is starting to burn. And I have water dripping onto it, which is not good. Right off of my hat. Right off of my beanie. Okay, got that going. I'm going to pick this up now and stick our Firefly back in here so we don't lose it. Get this going a little bit better. That rain is trying to put it out. And this pitchwood is completely wet now, just from the time it's been sitting here. We'll get some pitch burning here. All these pieces of pitch are really wet on the outside, so it's going to take a bit to get them going. Okay, after this gets going a little better, I'm going to shove it underneath the fire. Starting to really get going. It's a good thing because it's going to take a while to get these sticks burning. You can hear the water hitting the fire, trying to put it out.
Yeah, big old chunk.
Okay, there you go. That's how to start a fire using just your Swiss Army knife and a Firefly under pretty much the worst conditions possible. I hope you enjoy the Firefly, and I thank you for your purchase.